Can't see. Got it. All right, welcome everybody to our first ever Health and Wellness Summit here at NAFA. We'd like to thank everybody that's logged in and agreed to join us. Be grateful you're not here in Arizona. It's extremely hot and we're slowly roasting. So thank you for tuning in. I understand that we're also streaming live on Facebook, possibly. Valerie will make sure that that's working. Again, welcome. My name is Andrew McClaws. I'm the marketing director here at NAFA. And this is the first webinar we've really done on health and wellness. So be patient with us as we work out the kinks. But thanks for joining us. We're going to start off this morning by having Mr. Cooley speak to us for a few minutes on a new product that we're endorsing. And I'm going to turn the camera over to him so you can see him a little bit better. And then we'll kind of go from there. All right, Al, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Al Cooley. I'm the president of the Native American Fatherhood and Family Association. Our main program here is that we're in the business of trying to strengthen families. And three things: we strengthen families, we help keep families together, and we reunite families. We currently work with about 250 tribes throughout North America. We've had a lot of success over the past years. I've been always concerned about the fact that we haven't really focused on the health of our families, of the physical health. And we were very honored to be approached by an international group that have done a lot of work and study on dealing with digestive issues and blood sugar and diabetes. And so they approached us a few months ago and asked us if we would have any interest in working with our Native people, since we work with so many tribes. And we said, sure, we'd like to look at what you have to offer. Well, they came down and we met, and they showed us the products we have. And it's a product that is very, 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 very good. We are now designed to market ourselves. We're doing it under health. It's called Health E80, and it's basically the enzymes that they'll be explaining to you more here in a few minutes. And what it is, it really helps us overcome things like blood sugar, diabetes, other very important health issues. I've taken it myself. I'm a diabetic, type 2 diabetic myself. I've been a diabetic myself for about 35 years. And my numbers have been always close to around 200. It's spiked sometimes as high as 300. And I took this product for the first 10 days. I was totally amazed. I didn't change my diet. I was still taking the products, the pills that I got from IHS, and like metformin and things like this. And I just added these pills. And so my sugar, after the first couple of weeks, I took my readings and it dropped down to 98. I just took my sugar this morning after a while, and I was up to 120. And so my sugar is good, but I feel really good. A lot of other things I have benefited from this product. So I'd like to take the time to turn it over back to them again. I just want to share with you that we really do want to bring something that's unique to our people, our Native people. And so it's a product that we have, again, it is a patented product. And I'll turn it back over to talk about it. Andrew?
Okay, so we had Dr. Tracy Gibbs. He's the formulator of the enzyme product, come to us and present about 3 months ago.
Yes.
And that's when we all started taking the product to see what it would do for us. So we recorded his presentation. It's too long to play the whole thing. We have a couple of different clips that we want to play. This first clip, he's going to introduce what enzymes are, which I had no clue what enzymes do and why we need them in our body. But he's going to talk a little bit about enzymes and kind of the issues that are facing Native American people with the Western diet and the other things. Let's see if we can switch over to the first video clip here. Can everybody hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. So. All right, I'm getting a so-so. I don't know, is our volume all the way up? So I'm sharing the screen. And I guess all I do is hit play. We're all the way up. Okay, turn your volume up so hopefully you can hear this. If you can't, I guess give us a thumbs down and we'll figure out what we can do to turn up the volume on our end. All right, here we go. This is about a 10-minute clip. This is Dr. Tracy Gibbs, the formulator. He holds the patent on this and talks to us about what makes his product different than anything else that's out there. Okay, here we go.
You can't hear that? No. All right. Nope, they're not shared. Okay, sorry, we forgot to push a button.
That's why we have a line right here.
All right.
Our diets now are this enzymeless food time. So every time you buy something in a box or in a can or in a package, it's dead food. It's enzymeless food. And because we eat 90% of our diets now are this enzymeless food, we become enzyme deficient. And it's a big...
Oh, shoot, sorry. Where'd their pictures go? I can't see them anymore.
They are.
There.
They're on screen.
I see them. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Sorry, your videos of you left, so. Okay. There you go. When they
If you can just push play, that we could hear it just fine. If you
can hear, okay, then that's good. Let's just play. We can't see, so I couldn't see thumbs up. But thanks, Valerie.
Okay, wait, why is it not here? It's here, is it here?
Yeah.
I think it's this one.
Okay, yeah.
All right, here we go.
problem with all of us. I mean, you see it in the indigenous cultures. I grew up on the Fort Hall Indian Reservation. Both my mom and dad worked with the elders of that reservation, so we were actually allowed to go on the buffalo hunts. I remember taking a buffalo when I was 14. But yeah, my mom taught at the Voc Tech College, so I saw it even among my friends. I had, you know, at 8 years old, I had a friend. His name was Alfred. He was a Shoshone. They combined those tribes, by the way. They call them the Show Band now. It used to be Shoshone and Bannock, and they didn't like each other historically, but they got stuck on the same reservation together and had to work things out. But he was a pure Bannock. And by the time we were 12, you know, his DNA was not made for these packaged and processed foods. And even though at 8, 9, 10 years old, growing up playing with him, we were the same active, we ate the same things, but by the time we were 12, he weighed almost twice as much as I did. And was having blood sugar issues and things like that by age 14. You know, again, it's not in your DNA to eat our food and this processed food. So I saw that growing up on that reservation of how cooked and processed foods really can destroy somebody's body and cause diabetes and cardiovascular issues and things like that. So I think it really helped my studies as I entered college and whatnot, studying more about enzymes and more, again, ethnobotany. What are traditional and cultural foods and how do they feed and nourish our bodies and how can we get back to that lifestyle? And it really starts from a scientific standpoint, it starts with enzymes. So I've got a little presentation here on what are enzymes, what they do for us, and it'll help you guys be able to focus more on how can I eat a more enzyme-rich diet. And if I can't, what supplements can I use? Because look, all a supplement is, dietary supplement means it's something that can supplement your diet, right? If it's missing or lacking in your diet, take the little supplement for it. The best way is to eat those kind of foods so you don't have to supplement, but a lot of us can't do that. Look, my wife and I, we try to eat healthy. My wife's vegan. And so because she cooks 90% of the time, I'm vegan too at home, pretty much. When I'm traveling, though, I'm a carnivore. But so if you can eat healthy and if you can do those things that you're supposed to do, you don't need supplements. But if you don't want to eat the way you want to eat, if you just love having your breads and pastas and things like that, well then take a dietary supplement so that you get those live enzymes back into your diet that you're missing. So let's talk about that a bit. If you want to slide that open. we can start. There we go. So enzyme power is your key to ultimate health. What are enzymes? This is, I think most people know the word enzymes, but do they really know what enzymes are? There's actually about 5,000. It's funny because when I was in school, we only knew of about 2,500 different types of enzymes. In the last 25 years, we've doubled that number. We know there are over 5,000 different types of enzymes now. And we're discovering more. I mean, they really are the foundation for life. But enzymes are basically what build everything in your body, and they're what destroy everything in your body. So if you have, for example, let's say you have cancer, and you're going through chemotherapy treatment, and chemotherapy is what's called a cytotoxin. It kills your cells, right? Well, what happens to those cells when they die? How does your body slough those off? It's enzymes that actually break those, because I mean, if you have a cell inside your body and it dies, it doesn't just stay there. If it did, you'd have thousands and billions of dead cells floating around your body, and that's not how it works. They actually can break down those dead cells and convert those back into amino acids and things used for basic building blocks. So imagine having a big home, and instead of just demolishing that home and burning it and destroying it, imagine taking it apart piece by piece, and then you've got lumber and nails and everything that you can use to build another home. That's what enzymes do in the body too. So they're the construction and the demolition crews. You can't live without enzymes. The one major factor between something that is alive and something that is dead is things that are alive have enzymes. All plants have enzymes. All animals have enzymes. All humans have enzymes. Living soil has enzymes in it. Dead soil, or like desert soil or things, has no enzymes. Once a plant dies, enzymes are gone. Even when we die, enzymes break down our body back and turn it back to dirt. And then those enzymes are gone. So all living things contain enzymes. In our bodies, we have two different types of enzymes. We have exogenous, which are what we get from outside sources, like our foods, living foods. And then we have endogenous. These are enzymes that our own body produces. To give you an example of an endogenous enzyme, when you eat food, there's an enzyme that your liver produces called pancreatine. That's produced by your pancreas. Your liver produces an enzyme called chymotrypsin, which digests fats. So our elimination and digestive organs produce certain types of enzymes to aid in digestion. As we age, though, those tend to disappear, which is why the older we get, the harder it is to digest food, right? We start getting heartburn and leaky gut syndrome and irritable bowel syndrome and things like that as we age. When we're young, though, it really doesn't happen. Exogenous enzymes come from everything we eat that's alive. So as you see the little picture here, carrots, tomatoes, pears, peaches, whatever. If it's living, I don't care if you go out and eat the local cacti or sagebrush. If it's alive, it'll have enzymes in it, okay? The endogenous enzymes are broken down into a category called metabolic enzymes. These help in every function of your body. There's enzymes in your brain that help produce new neural pathways. So as let's say you've never played basketball in your life, and when you're 60 years old, you want to go learn how to play basketball. When you're practicing dribbling that ball, practice makes perfect. That's a proverb that simply says, the more you do it, the more neural pathways you get in your brain to tell your hand when to hit that basketball or how to take that shot. Those are all neural pathways that are created by enzymes in your brain. We have other enzymes in our liver that help process toxins. We have digestive enzymes in our liver and pancreas that help break down and digest food. But all of these metabolic enzymes and digestive enzymes decrease over time. The older we get, the less enzymes our bodies produce. There are bad enzymes in your body that actually increase with age, too. For example, all of you have probably been to the doctor and had your blood test done, and they'll say like, oh, your liver and kidneys look fine or something, right, by doing a blood test. They're testing enzyme levels in your liver and kidney. As we age, what's called our ALT levels, which is an enzyme in your liver, increases. And when that gets to a certain height, you're pretty much dead. Your liver stops functioning. because it's a bad enzyme. It's not really bad, it just has a function that kills you. It's how we naturally die. Yeah, can't say, it's part of life, right? Death is also part of life. It's the cycle of life. There are enzymes in your body that will help eventually kill you so that you cannot live forever. In fact, a lot of science is trying to figure out how to stop those enzymes from producing so that we could live forever potentially if our bodies no longer produce those enzymes that kill us. Exogenous enzymes come from all live food, yes, even meat. Raw meat has the enzymes in it necessary to digest itself. But when we cook them, which is, cooking brings out what's called the umami in meat, that nice aroma and smell that we get when meat's barbecuing. Our bodies crave that, we love that. And it tastes good, but it's not very good for you. It's better raw. I don't trust raw food though, unless again, you go kill it yourself and you know exactly what it was feeding on. And you know, the way we process our meats now, there's bacteria in the meats that can harm you. Not enzymes. Enzymes are good for you in raw meat, but the bacteria that can grow in raw meat can harm you. And in vegetables too. I've had food poisoning from eating bad vegetables before. Beets, I had a bad batch of beets one time. It was the worst food poisoning ever. Because that's bacterial. That's another thing you should know. Fermentation is enzyme based. Rotting is bacterial based. So when something's rotten, don't eat it. It's bad for you. But if something's fermented, it's full of enzymes. I mean, that's originally how we stored our foods, right? We would cure the meat. That's not cooking, that's an enzyme process of fermenting. Or we would ferment sugars and create beer and alcohol, right? You can still drink that because that's a fermentation process. So it's an enzyme process, not a bacterial process. So as we age, these enzymes decrease in our bodies. When we cook food, we destroy enzymes. Any heating above 56 degrees Celsius, again about 120, 125 degrees Fahrenheit, kills all enzymes. So almost any type of cooking will destroy enzymes. You guys get 120 degrees out in the desert sometimes, so don't go out there or you'll literally cook and you'll die too, because if your enzymes die, you die.
Yeah, stop. Okay. You want to share another one?
Not yet. We're gonna visit here for just a minute. Okay. All right, guys, could everybody hear that okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it and see it. Okay, good. That was our trial run at trying to share a video. We've got one more video clip that we're going to share here in just a minute. But before we do that, I wanted to share a couple things. We're not able to share the whole.
Andrew, we can't hear you. You keep going in and out.
So put
Maybe-
it right there to the audience. There you go. And just get closer to it.
Yeah, that might be better.
Is that any better?
Yes, that's better.
Okay, so we're going to hear from Dr. Gibbs again in just a few minutes. We have one kind of concluding video clip that's going to kind of sum up how to use the product that he's created and kind of how to get the maximum benefit out of it. But I wanted to share a couple things before I did that. Part of what he shared that we're not going to listen to is he talks about this whole process of pasteurizing and preserving our foods. Traditionally, we hunted our food, we killed it, we ate it, we raised crops, and we ate it. And all of our foods had enzymes. But starting about 100 years ago with World War I, it really started about 200 years ago, but 100 years ago is when it really started to kick off. World War I, we started canning and preserving foods to get them to our troops in the war areas, and especially in World War II is where this whole modernized production facilities started, where everything started to be cooked and preserved and canned. So then we hear about shelf life. What's the shelf life of a product? Well, in the old days, the shelf life was a few hours or a few days. You harvested it, you cooked it, or you ate it, and then it was done. But now, because of businesses and corporations, we want to keep stuff on the shelf as long as possible to make it profitable, right? But what it's done is it's wreaked havoc on our digestive systems, because most of what we're eating doesn't have enzymes in it anymore. If you go into any grocery store here in America or North America, what do you see? Mostly everything is boxed, frozen. Frozen also kills enzymes or alters them to where the body can't use them. We have that one little section over on the side where it has produce, but even our produce has been genetically altered. And so much of what we're consuming, especially when we eat out, when we cook our food, it doesn't have enzymes. And so our bodies used to have food that would digest itself. Now our body has to produce the enzymes to digest the food. And our bodies have a limited number of enzymes. It's like a suitcase. We're all born with a certain number of enzymes. Scientists, doctors now say that at about age 20, but between age 20 and 25 is when our bodies start to age. It's when our bodies start to realize that they can't keep producing the enzymes that they produced when we were little. When we were little, we could eat anything we wanted. We could stuff anything down our throat and it would digest it and we would be just fine. But when we hit our 20s is when our bodies start to say, listen, unless we start to reduce the amount of enzymes that we're producing, we'll be dead by age 40. So that's when we start to have all these digestive issues. I struggle with kidney stones, which is a digestive issue, and I also struggle with gallbladder issues. Al, you mentioned a little bit ago that he struggles with high blood sugar. There's a number of, and I'm going to read some of these off. It'll talk about it on our website, but things like leaky gut syndrome, gout, which is when uric acid builds up because we eat too much meat. People in the Pacific Islanders specifically really struggle really bad with gout, but it's prevalent on the reservations too. And we all like to eat meat, don't we? Well, those uric acids build up and then we start to get gout. Things like dairy intolerance, gluten intolerance. We've all heard of that. IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, gas, bloating. All of those things stem from issues with our digestive system. It can even manifest itself with things like shingles, migraine headaches, arthritis, inflammation. So all those things are a result of our digestive system not being able to digest ourselves properly, our foods properly, and then we start having all these different ailments. And so we were all a little skeptical when Dr. Gibbs came to talk to us. You know, everybody's pushing a pill or a powder or a potion. And so we decided to all try it here. And most of the employees here, most people here at NAFA are still taking it 4 months later and seeing great results from it. I take it from my gallbladder. My gallbladder doesn't work right. It doesn't produce the bile to digest the fats. So I take this product, Health E80. It has a specific enzyme in it to break down fats that my body's not producing, so that I can once in a while, I probably eat more fried and fatty foods than I should, but I keep a bottle of this handy so that if I ever eat fast food or anything like that, I have the enzymes that will break down the food and it won't kill me. And if I don't take it, it wrecks me. It really does. My stomach, it just goes into knots. So we're excited about it here. We think it'll be great with you as well. And so we have another video clip here that we're going to watch by Dr. Gibbs. He's going to talk about how to take the product to get maximum benefit. And then what we'll do is we'll have some wrap up with Amy, okay? So if everybody's still on, we're going to go ahead and go over to our second video clip here. I'll have Lyra help me. We're going to go down to share. We're going to share both of them. We got right here. Can we double click it or just hit share?
Yeah, hit share.
Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and hit play.
We believe, I think the studies show that it's most effective if you take it about 15 to 30 minutes before you're going to eat. And in our blend, we recommend 2 capsules. And then 2 at night on an empty stomach. So I'm taking 8 a day. Mm-hmm. And I think the reasoning behind how taking it early, taking it 15 to 30 minutes before you eat, is your body will, if you're not getting enzymes, your body wants to dump enzymes in, right? And so if you take these ahead of time, then you're telling your body to relax, don't worry, we've got some enzymes here, so you kind of relieve your organs from having to perform a function, and that's always beneficial. Organs are just like any other, just like a piece of machinery. They will wear out. The more you make them do their job, the faster they'll wear out. So the idea is to have some longevity and a real good quality of life. So that's how we use it, is that?
Yeah, and to make it simple, I usually just tell people 2 capsules with each meal, and then 2 before bed. And we do the 2 before bed until your enzyme levels or your blood sugar levels are stable. Okay? When they're good and they're where they're at and you're not diabetic anymore or something like that, then you can be more liberal in how you take it. For example, I was hypoglycemic. I had chronic low blood sugar levels where I'd pass out all the time in my youth, in my early 20s. I formulated this enzyme product when I was 24 years old for myself. And I would be taking a tablespoon of it. I didn't have capsules back then because literally it was just my own homemade blend. And it was a doctor that told me, he saw me eating these one day. I was having lunch with this doctor. And I took this tablespoon when I was eating lunch, and he said, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I have hypoglycemia, so this helps me process my sugars." And he's like, "And does it work?" I'm like, "Yeah, I haven't had hypoglycemia for years. I never pass out. My blood sugar never goes below 90 anymore." And he was like, "Do you realize how many people are hypoglycemic in the United States? You should start selling that." And then we found out that it not only works for hypoglycemia, but it works for the opposite end, diabetes too, because basically it processes sugars for your body. So whether you're high or low, it just helps you metabolize sugars better. And the way I was doing it was I would do it with each meal. If you do it 15 minutes before your meal, that's ideal, right? It's perfect if you would do that. But I never could remember, because look, when I'm busy and I hustle and bustle, and it's usually, I don't have a planned time to eat. It's usually, oh, let's go grab something now. So I'm going to go get food, and that's when I remember to take them. But if you can remember, if you have an ideal scenario where you can set your alarm or whatever, but take 2 15 minutes before you eat's fine. The reason why you take 2 on an empty stomach is because I showed you these enzymes do work in your bloodstream. If you have no food in your stomach, the enzymes get into your bloodstream and they look for sugars to metabolize, to break down. So if you have high blood sugar levels, that means you've got glucose in your bloodstream that's not turning into energy. That's all sugar is, you guys, it's energy. And your body is supposed to take that glucose and allow your cells to uptake it because of insulin, right? What they call those insulin receptors, and then your cells will convert that into ATP energy. Well, that's an enzyme process, and if you're lacking the enzymes to do that, that sugar is just going to be sitting in your bloodstream, not converting to energy. So take it at night, at bedtime, on an empty stomach, so that your blood sugar levels can convert into energy instead of floating around your bloodstream. Do that, 2 with each meal, and I would even say 2 every time you eat, because some of you may only eat 2 meals a day, some of you might eat 6 meals a day, okay? You need it to help process your food. So 2 with each meal, and then 2 at night on an empty stomach. And you'll watch, your blood sugar levels will regulate out. It'll take 60 days, 90 days, but it'll happen.
Can you take too many?
No, in fact, that's another thing we've learned. What's the most you've taken at one time, honey?
Probably 10 to 18.
10 to 18 at one time?
I could solve the whole
Yeah,
bottle
yeah.
and be totally fine.
Now-
I might get a little diarrhea, but.
Yeah.
Not really.
Now let me tell you why she's done that and why I've had people even take more than that. You're familiar with celiac disease, right? Mm-hmm. Gluten intolerances. Gluten is what? It's a protein. It's a protein that some people have trouble breaking down. And if that protein begins to coat your intestinal lining, white blood cells attack that gluten because it's not amino acids for energy anymore. It's a foreign invader. And so when white blood cells attack that, that's inflammation. So you get this huge inflammation response in your gut. That's what celiac disease is. We use the enzymes to break down the protein so that you won't have celiac disease. It takes a lot though. I had one gal taking 24 capsules before she ate every time, but it allowed her to eat because without that she couldn't even eat. She would get such inflammation in her gut. She had gone from about 124 pounds and was about 88 pounds and in the hospital, and doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with her because this was about 14 or so years ago before we really knew what celiac was. She started taking the enzymes and was able to start eating food in the hospital again. And 3 days after she was taking the enzymes, they released her. They said, well, whatever it is you're doing, you're gaining weight again, so you're fine. So you can use these for celiac, for IBS, for any type of digestive disorder. For diabetes, it's 2 capsules with each meal, and then 2 at bedtime. If you've got celiac, it's take them until you feel better, okay? It may be 8 capsules, it may be 10 capsules with each meal. But enzymes, because they're natural and because they're found in raw food, there's no toxicity. It's not like a vitamin that you can overdose on. It's not a prescription drug you can overdose on. It literally is just enzymes that, number 1, should be found in your own body, and number 2, are found in all living things. So there's no harmful side effects. That was a good question, though. Yeah. So you can't take too many. Except money-wise. It costs a lot of money to take a lot. So.
Do you have a formulation for those people that have that, the celiac spread?
No, so it's the same formula. Our formula contains proteolytic enzymes, lipophilic, so enzymes that digest fats. So if you've got cardiovascular disease and your triglycerides are off the chart, or you've got high cholesterol, these enzymes work for you too. Because think of our enzyme as a multi-enzyme, kind of like a multivitamin, has lots of different vitamins in it. Our formula has lots of different enzymes in it. We've got 4 enzymes specific for the digestion of sugars. We've got 1 enzyme specific to proteins and 1 enzyme for fats. So our product breaks down fats, proteins, and sugars. It works on all types of food. And again, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer are all pretty much diet related, right? Diet and lifestyle related. Cancer is from the carcinogens, all the pollutants in our air, the chemicals in our food, and things like that. Heart disease, they say, is mostly because we eat too many fats and have too much stress. So we can take care of the fat portion for you. We can't take care of the stress. That's, you got to do that on your own. Exercise and live a lifestyle that you enjoy and love and things like that. So, but yeah, we have 1 formula. And it works for many things.
All right, so we're back to
Stop share. All right, so hopefully you guys were able to learn some things there for enzymes. And we want to, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to change my view so we can see. There we go.
there we go.
Okay, so real quick, just to kind of, can you hear me okay? Yes, okay. So just to kind of reiterate what everybody was saying and what Dr. Gibbs said, on the back of the bottle too, it does actually say what it says, and I'm going to read it real quick. It says suggested use 2 capsules with each meal and 2 capsules on an empty stomach at bedtime. The body can heal itself when given the proper nutrients. While we all need enzymes for health and vitality, enzyme supplementation without a mineral cofactor is ineffective. Health E80's patented formula combines 80 enzymes and minerals that will kickstart your digestive system and bring health and healing to the entire body. Health E80 works at all pH levels and is not destroyed by the stomach acid. And then some of the health issues that are addressed, as it says on the bottle as well: blood sugar, IBS, bloating, gas, high cholesterol, inflammation, lipids, gluten, lactose intolerance, constipation, shingles, gallbladder, migraines, heartburn, gout, immune function, and malnutrition. And again, just with this, I mean, like Andrew said, we've all been taking it. We've seen the impact it's been on us. One example for myself is just one day I ate some bad cheese. Here in Arizona, it's really hot, so it spoiled pretty quickly. But I ate it, and I felt really sick, like I needed to throw up. And I remember somebody saying, "Well, just take a couple of these extra," and I did, and literally within 10 minutes I felt fine. I didn't feel sick anymore. So that's another thing that it helps, just like Dr. Gibbs explained. It fights those bacteria that cause things such as the bad cheese with the enzymes. And so again, we, as Al mentioned earlier too, we have always been doing strengthening families and working on having healthy families, but now we want to push the physical health on families as well. And as you know, our Native people, we struggle with diabetes specifically and a lot of other health issues. And this is something that we've been able to see. I have an aunt too, who's in her mid-70s, and she said she takes this and she used to wake up 2-3 times a night to use the restroom. And now she says she sleeps every morning until 6 a.m. without any issues at all. And so again, it just helps kind of everything internally. So we want to ask if you have any questions, but before that too, just one question is, how do you get this? Where can I order it from? We do have a website. If you go to healthE80.com, and so it's Health E80, that's how you spell it, healthE80.com. You can go and find information on there. You can also, I believe, find it on our website. Oh yeah, Valerie, can you put that in the chat too so people have that, healthE80.com. And then right now, so for a bottle like this, it has 180 capsules inside.
But a month supply.
It'll last about a month, depending how much you take. If you take only 2 a day or 8 a day, it just depends. But it's 180 capsules, and that retail price is $75 a bottle. However, since we're just starting this, we do have an online special right now going on until at least August for $10 off at $65 a bottle. And then for those of you that want to order in bulk, order a whole case of them, we'll give you another $10 off. So it would be $55 a bottle. And each case has 40 bottles inside it. So again, that's kind of what the pricing is. I don't know, Valerie, if you can put that on there too in the chat. Any questions though? From anybody?
You'd have to unmute yourself.
There was a question in the chat, you guys, from E. Grego. Let me see. He said, what about when you're taking high blood pressure? So basically the same. It works for everything.
Yeah, he said, so Dr. Gibbs, in the full version of his video, he said high blood pressure, and he talked about that. It's not going to mess with your medication. The only thing that I've heard discussed is blood thinners. So if you're on blood thinners, these enzymes may make your system work even better, and it may make the medication work even better. So just talk to your doctor if you're on blood thinners, because it may thin your blood too much, which you don't want. So you may be able to reduce your medication if you're on blood thinners. But high blood pressure, he said, no problem.
Thank you, Nancy, for sharing that.
So let me share one more thing, and then I'll give it over to Amy. One thing I wanted to emphasize is this product, Health E80, they've given us exclusive rights, the formulator, Dr. Gibbs, to market this in North America on Native American lands. So any reservations, Native American lands, no one else is going to come in and try to sell this. Plus, no one else can. This formula is unique because he took enzymes with their cofactored minerals and he combines them in such a way that our body can then use them, and they basically mirror just what our body does. Everyone else out there is just selling enzymes, and some enzymes work a little and most of them don't work at all. These enzymes work really good because of the patent. So he actually took it to the government. It took him 8 years. They actually gave him a patent because of its highly effective formula. So that's one thing that we have going for us, and no one else is going to be out there trying to market this in Native American lands. So I just wanted to mention that, and that's pretty much it. It's patented, it's unique, no one else has it, and they came to us specifically because of the challenges that they see in Native America with the Western diet, which is high fat, high sugar, dead enzymes, no food value, and it's just wreaking havoc. And so we're seeing really good success. I mean, anyone will see success with it, but especially with Native Americans.
So the price for the case, Janelle, is $55 a bottle. So to multiply that by 40 bottles, which is, I don't have my calculator.
I think it's 1,800.
I think it's about that.
I
Valerie, you
don't
type.
know. Let's go. Who has the calculator?
While they're getting the numbers up, I want to say for myself, that was not part of the intention, but I've also lost weight myself. And I've just kept a regular diet, and I'm just gradually losing weight. And I wasn't anticipating that, but I feel wonderful.
Yes.
He has too much energy.
Mhm.
Any other questions, anybody? You are breaking up and we can't hear the prices. Okay, so it's $2,200 for the whole case. You get 40 bottles at $55 per bottle. So that equals a total of 2,200.
You can't see always backwards.
I don't know if that's backwards. Is that backwards?
Yeah, it is.
No.
Backwards to us, forwards to you. All right, great.
Okay, well, any other questions, anybody, before we let you go? We want to thank you all too for joining us. Again, this is a brand new, FERT bottle is 75 typically, but it's $65 per bottle right now. We have a $10 off promotion going on through August, now until August. And so for one bottle, just to try it out, it's $65.
And you can get that at www.health and then the letter E and then the number 80, health-e80.com.
And that should be in the chat right there, right? Healthy80.com.
Yeah, health-e80.com. That's the website.
Okay.
So if you have diabetes, if you know someone that has diabetes, it'll do wonders for them. It really will. But there's so many other digestive issues that we're facing that it'll help a number of different things.
Nancy, do you want to share that, what you just wrote? Can you
Yeah,
share?
so I was going to say that I had started the Health E80 back in February when I was at NAFA, and I had a case of shingles that was the worst pain I've ever been in. I was crying every night because I hurt so bad. And when I heard that it could help with the shingles, I was so excited. I just thought, please. And so faithfully taking it, the 2 prior to each meal, 2 before bedtime, within about 2 weeks, my shingle pain was gone. My husband, who's also taking it, and pretty much everybody else who I hear takes it, they say the number one thing that it helps them is with their bowels. So if you have any bowel issues, which most of us, as we are aging, and nobody likes to talk about that stuff, but everybody who takes it, we all know how well it helps things. So that alone, if you have any issues there.
Thank you. And I think, I don't know a lot about shingles. I'm not a doctor, but I know that inflammation is the key with a lot of the digestive issues. And so if we can get the inflammation down in our body, our bodies can heal themselves a lot quicker than dealing with the inflammation. The inflammation just makes everything worse. It's arthritis, there's a number of different things that deal with inflammation. And it's because our bodies can't break down the foods that we're eating. Our body gets inflammation. So address the inflammation. What's wrong with my voice? Am I too low? Do I need to speak higher?
A little wonky, Andrew.
That's probably my
No,
laptop.
now you can. It's just you got to be direct. Mine does the same thing.
Directly in front. So it's
There you
the inflammation. Address the inflammation in our bodies. The foods that we're eating cause inflammation because our bodies aren't breaking down don't have the enzymes to break down the food. So you break down the foods, process the foods correctly, get the inflammation out of our bodies, and our bodies can heal itself much more quickly. So if you have a case of shingles, but you have a lot of digestive issues, guess what? Your shingles is going to be very painful and last a lot longer. Get the inflammation out of your body and your body can heal itself. Just like when you're a kid.
Oh, go ahead, Nancy.
Well, I was going to say too that for us, like my husband and I, we had battled COVID, and I feel like that really ravaged my immune. I was struggling with lots of frequent infections afterwards. My immune just was not keeping things down. And so whether you've had the vaccine or whether you've had COVID, I feel like this is so helpful to rebuild your immune system, and our immune systems need to be stronger so that we aren't getting the viruses and illnesses that are out there. So it can really help. You guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Much better.
And just one more thing that I know Dr. Gibbs had shared that wasn't played on the video. He was sharing an example too of, even if like somebody had a bruise or something that's abnormal to your body, can you hear me, Evelyn? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take these enzymes, it'll help your body to heal itself much quicker. So say you get, they knew a young girl who got in a car accident who had her whole face messed up. She was in the hospital, broken nose, everything. And the bruising, she started taking the enzymes quickly because her dad was one of the guys that worked with Dr. Gibbs. She was taking it, and within a week, the bruising and swelling, everything had already cleared up, like it looked normal. And so just things like that, just any kind of healing itself, that your body's healing itself, the enzymes are able to bring back that healing aspect to what our bodies once had when we were young. So what?
One quick thing. My wife bruises very easy on her arms and her legs, and she couldn't get rid of them. And she started taking these enzymes, and one day we were going, and she says, "Look at my arms, Al. They're all these bruises are gone." And because she takes enzymes very on a regular basis, and it doesn't happen overnight, but in a few days, she just began to take care of herself. Now her arms have no more bruising on them.
So we believe strongly that if the body is given proper nutrition, that it will heal itself, and it'll heal itself quickly. And the enzymes will help it do that. Our website is brand new. It's healthE80.com. There's lots of great information on there, studies that have been done. It's still under construction. We have a lot of testimonials that we're working on that we're going to get on the website. You've heard some of them today, but we'll have many, many more testimonials that will be on the website shortly. So visit the website, tell people to go visit the website because it'll educate them. And if we can, we'll try to get this video on the website so people can watch it.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
one more thing, isn't Dr. Gibb, he'll be at the conference in November, so we get to hear him.
Yes, so we are having our 17th annual Fatherhood is Leadership Conference, November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And Dr. Gibbs will be here on that first day to present this to us as well, to the whole group of people to kind of explain it in more depth. And so again, questions will be answered there as well. Thanks, Nancy. Any other questions from anybody? All right, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys coming on, and we'll look forward to hearing from you. Take care.
Bye-bye.